Okay, let's go ahead and create our first project by typing Command Space again to bring up Spotlight. And we will type Xcode beta and hit enter. This launches Xcode. And one of the things that I like to do is once I've installed Xcode, I like to right click it after it's been launched, go to Options, and check Keep in Dock. Now, Keep in Dock allows Xcode to just always stay in the dock. That way I don't have to keep searching for it if I don't want to. So let's come over to Xcode. What you can see on the right, once you've opened up a few different projects, you'll start seeing a list of your recent projects here. We've got Get Started with a New Playground. The playground is just a quick way to write Swift code so that you can, like it says, explore new ideas quickly and easily. You can try out different things. Create a new Xcode project is what we're going to do next. And if you've already got a project you'd like to open, you can choose Check Out an Existing Project. That allows you to open a project from a source control manager like Git or Subversion and similar. So let's go ahead and choose Create a New Xcode Project. Now you're going to be presented with a template to use for your project. For this project, we're just going to do single view application. Now you get the chance to give it a product name. What we're going to say is my first Watchkit app. Your organization name is the name you'd like to tie to this. It can be your first and last name or your company name. Also an organization identifier. I have a website set up at devdustin.com, so I like to use that, com.devdustin. And bundle identifier, we don't need to worry about that right now. It's just a way to identify your app. Usually it's your organization identifier and your product name, so com.devdustin.myfirstwatchkitapp. Language, you're given two options, Swift or Objective-C. For these projects, we're going to choose Swift, as it is the latest programming language being pushed out by Apple, and you'll probably enjoy it more than you would Objective-C, especially if you're just beginning. Devices, for this app, we're going to choose iPhone, and we are not going to use Core Data, which we will get into later, so do not use Core Data. Now we'll click Next to create the project. Choose a location, click Create, and we have our project created. Now, one thing you might realize is that we haven't yet said anything about Watchkit. And let me go into a little bit about what and how the Watchkit app works in conjunction with a normal iOS app. Currently, there isn't the ability to create what we would call a native Watchkit app, though Apple has promised that we will be able to at some point soon. Currently, the way that they are set up is that there's three pieces. One is a normal iOS app. Another is what we'd call a Watchkit extension. And the last is the Watchkit app itself. Okay, the Watchkit extension is the brains of the app. Has the code and the logic for responding to the user, for updating the Watchkit app's UI, for managing content. Can also communicate with the iOS app that runs on the user's phone. So keep that in mind when you're developing these apps, that there are three distinct pieces. And as we go throughout this course, you'll get familiar with each of these pieces. And so if that was confusing, don't worry. We'll get into specific examples, and hopefully that should make it clear what is going on. So as of right now, we've only got an iOS app. So let's add the piece that helps us create a Watchkit app. So go ahead and go to File, New, Target. On the left here under iOS, you should have a section called Apple Watch. Now, if you don't have a section labeled Apple Watch, you're probably on an older Xcode version, one that doesn't support Watchkit. As of this video, the latest is Xcode 6.2 beta 4. So you're going to want to make sure you're at least on that version. We'll select it, click Next. Now on the next screen, you can probably just select most of the defaults that are here. The one that I suggest we don't select at this point is Include Notification Scene, which is one that we're going to get into later. Go ahead and click Finish. Now Xcode is going to ask you if you want to activate this scheme, and that's fine. Go ahead and activate it. It just sets it as the default when you run. So it'll set the app as the default, the Watchkit app as the default when we run it in the debugger. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's try to run it in the debugger and see what happens. We'll get into more debugging skills later on, but currently we're just going to do the easy play button, which is the button on the top left of Xcode. Go ahead and click it. Build succeeded. Okay, it should have also run it. And a lot of times the simulator likes to hide behind Xcode. So go ahead in the dock and go in the dock and find it and click on it. So on the right, you can see that your iPhone was launched along with your watch. Okay, this is actually our app running on the watch. So this would be the watch app. And over here, if you look, you can see the iOS portion of our app. So if you click on that, it'll actually launch our app, which has nothing in it. So remember, there's different parts to this, right? We've got the Watchkit app over here. You've got the iOS app here. And you have what we call the Watchkit extension, which handles the user input and is the brains of the app. Okay. So there you have it. You've created your first Watchkit app. So congratulations. You're probably getting more familiar with Xcode, getting the project set up. We did a little bit of the debugger. So now we are ready to move on to more advanced things. So congratulations and keep up the good work.